Skip Happens. Please return Bubbles, your flight attendant, to her fully upright and locked position. Oh, wait a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seat and buckle up. Seat backs and tray tables in their full upright position. It's another episode of Skip Happens. Your weekly view from 30,000 feet. From the first music lesson to the first paid gig to signing the deal, it's the journey that is the life of an artist. Now, here's your captain and co-captain, a.k.a. your hosts, Skip Clark and Deb Lamphere.
Hello, everybody. Don't get all right, just hold on a minute. I got a little bit of a surprise for you. Hang on. Here we go. See if this, listen. It's called Summers Like That. Listen.
I remember where I was the very first time when I heard Strawberry Wine. It was the middle of the summer, I turned 16. Could have sworn she was singing that song to me. I can still hear, maybe it was Memphis rolling through the speakers when I had my first kiss, dancing barefoot in the yard neath the canopy of trees to the keeper of the stars. I still get carried away by the magic, by the moment, never felt that way before. They don't make summers like that no more.
There she is. Look at that.
Here I am.
Welcome.
Hey, everybody,
Welcome.
it's Kimberly Kelly, and she is on Skip Happens tonight. And it's so good to see everybody. Thanks for tuning in. How are you, Deb? You good?
I'm great. How are you tonight?
I don't know. You like staring at me. I'm afraid I did something wrong.
Well, you know,
Kimberly,
if you
Kimberly.
did, I will tell you.
I know you would. Kimberly Kelly, how are you?
I'm doing fabulous. I've had Mexican food. I got my shoes kicked off. I'm great.
Wait, you already had the Mexican?
Yeah, we went and met with the American Songwriter girl at the Mexican restaurant. So I'm good.
Nothing better. My wife loves Mexican. She's all about it. We get a chance to go eat Mexican, we're there. You know?
Yep.
It's fun.
Are you in Nashville?
Yes, I am.
Oh, so what is the best the place you went to tonight? Is it one of your favorite?
In Donaldson, which is over on the Opry side of town. So we go to a place a lot of times called Nectar Urban Cantina.
I actually have heard of that. I have not been there yet, though, so I'm writing it down.
She will. She'll hit it up. She's there now. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But Kimberly Kelly, it's so good to have you on Skip Happens. I've heard so much about you. You've been through a lot lately. You been out on a radio tour. You were hitting up the radio stations, and then it's like everything fell out from underneath you for just a short time. And I think there's something good happening. But just to know that I don't know what happened with the label, but you lost all that momentum for a moment.
Yes.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
I can. So, I feel like it's just par for the course with the music business, but I was signed to Show Dog, which is Toby Keith's company, and they have been absolutely incredible. Let me make the record that I wanted to make, be the artist that I've always wanted to be. And we were a few weeks into a radio tour, and then unfortunately they had to let their radio team go. So we hadn't even unpacked our bags yet. But I don't want to speak out of, I guess, is the right way to say it, out of term, but I don't, Toby Keith had been sick, I think, and he is one of the highest earning country artists of all time. And I think it's just launching an artist takes so much. And I think they just couldn't do it necessarily anymore.
Right. No, I get you.
I don't, that's not speaking about his health or anything. I think he's doing great. It's really hard for them to launch a new artist. So and to keep that staff, I think. So there's still a label and everything. They just didn't have the team anymore to launch me necessarily. And so
Totally get it. Yep.
I'm in the process of moving my project back over to, well, not back over to, but over to a company called 30 Tigers.
Know them well. Yes.
Yeah. And Show Dog has been distributed through 30 Tigers. So it's not that far of a shift. It's just shifting the promotions team. So I just got word today that they're going to bring on some promoters, and that I guess we're just going to get back out there. So it's
cool.
It's the best worst case scenario, because being right in the middle of something and then kind of have the bottom fall out from under you, it's hard to get your footing. But I've just been on deck. I hadn't even made it to bat yet. So we're just, we're changing out the bat, maybe, so to speak. So, but Show Dog has been nothing but good to me. So,
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So we're going to get back out there. And here I am right now, starting right now.
Yes, exactly. On Skip Happens, no less.
Yes.
It's really kind of typical, though, because in the corporate world, departments shut down, people are shifted, things change. So it's just that in this industry, it might be a little bit more, well, it's probably a little more common to us because it's more public. Whereas in most other companies, you just don't hear about it, but it's there every day. So it's just a corporate move.
And I think sometimes artists will get dropped or something, but I didn't even necessarily get dropped. And then even like Sony, they had to shut down a division, and they're just moving their people around. That's kind of what's happening to me. It's exactly like you said. It's a corporate thing, and they're just moving me to a different spot. That's it.
Go.
Yeah, you're not going away.
No, I'm not.
And I know you're not going to be going away for a long time to come. So it's just, with what you're doing, your experience, let's talk about you a little bit. Where are you originally from?
I am from Texas, a little town called Lorena. It's 15 minutes south of Waco, right on I-35. So if you've gone from Waco to Austin, then you've driven through Lorena.
I think I flew over it.
Probably.
I've never driven through it. How awesome is that? How long ago did you move to Nashville?
I moved to Nashville about, 9 years ago. My sister, she has also been in the music business. She signed a record deal, and I came to town to sing harmony on the road with her, or background, however you want to say it. But we both did our own thing separately back in Texas, put out records. She was in a duo, and I was doing my own solo thing. But then when she came to town, she was like, "You want to come sing harmony?" And I said, "Let me check my schedule." Yes.
There wasn't much thinking about that.
No.
No. Is she still doing it?
Yes, she is. She's not signed to Sony anymore, but yes, she absolutely is. Still putting out music, and she's she's so funny. She also has a couple vans. Here's a 12-passenger van and a 15-passenger van that she rents out to other artists. So that's quite a lucrative business.
What a great idea when you think about it.
They
can't afford the full tour bus. We all know how expensive that is.
Yeah.
But if you could go out and get yourself a van.
She's got two of them.
And it's somebody that's in the business, so they know.
Yep.
That's cool. That's cool.
So
good for her.
She rents her van out to other artists playing gigs, so then she can just go play the gigs she wants to.
So you've got a lot of music behind you. I know your husband is a producer and a writer, and now your sister that you're telling us about. And then, of course, obviously you doing what you do. I do know you've been on that red carpet a couple of times for these award shows too, right?
I've been on an aqua carpet and I think there was a red one. I can't remember.
I don't know. We just call them red carpets.
I know. I'm just
maybe it's not red, but we call it a red carpet.
Yeah, they're red. They're all red. They're getting fancy nowadays. They should just stick to red. I went to the CMT Artist of the Year carpet last year. Then I went to the CMT Awards because I'm one of CMT's Next Women of Country. And then the other carpet I have done was for St. Jude. And
Love St. Jude. Absolutely.
so I've done 3 of them.
Wow.
So what does it feel like when you're walking up the red carpet? Are you
It's a little overwhelming when you get there, because the first one I went to, the St. Jude one was kind of tame, but then the CMT Artist of the Year, I'd never done it before, and you go out and it feels a little bit like on Finding Nemo where they're going, mine, 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 mine. You're standing there and you're trying to smile and everyone's like, look here, you know. And that part wasn't as overwhelming at the CMT Music Awards, but it was overwhelming to get out of the car and have the UT marching band just blaring at you. So it's like,
oh, wow.
It was a little intense.
You get the band, you got the cameras. It's like, wow, what's going on?
Yeah, you're just trying to hold it together, and I don't know, but it's fun. The answering the questions and talking to the people is the most fun. The taking the pictures is still kind of, because you gotta like position your body in ways that aren't natural, so then it looks right on the. You know what I mean?
And they're gonna ask you, what are you wearing, and all that.
Yes, you don't always remember. It's
no. I got a t-shirt and jeans. I'm happy.
Yeah.
Do they teach you how to pose for these pictures? Like
that's what I'm saying. You gotta like put your shoulders back and your hip out, and it feels.
You're coached on how to, like, if it were me and I was walking out there, I mean, I would be like, all right, I know my head looks okay when I'm tilting it this way. I mean, you have to go to like picture taking school or something?
No, my stylist helped me a little bit, and then one of my good friends who's always been in the.
Very cool.
But you forget all that when you get out there and everyone's yelling at you.
Yeah.
Just smile and wave and take advantage of it. I think, if you get that opportunity to be on a carpet of any kind, we call them all red carpets, but St. Jude or for the award show, you've done something. You've made it to a certain level that a lot of artists have not as of yet. So that's pretty cool. You may not be performing, but you're on that carpet and you're in attendance. That's something.
I got best dressed too at the CMT.
Really? Nice.
I wasn't presenting or playing, so
that's exciting.
Does your husband get to go with you with all these?
He went to that one, yes, and he got dolled up too, and he answered some questions.
Nice. Do you guys have any kids yet, or no?
No, not yet. We have a dog named Reba.
My dog was named Reba.
Oh, stop it! Really?
Yeah, I have a yellow lab. Well, I had. That was our first yellow lab. Was Reba.
Oh my God, I love that.
And it was named obviously after Reba McEntire.
Okay, funny story. So on the radio tour with JC, I was telling somebody that my dog's name was Reba, and I said, Reba, like Reba McEntire. And JC goes, you don't have to tell everyone that, Kim. That'd be like saying my dog's name is Cher.
Because everybody knows who Reba is. I know.
Because I go, Reba, as in McEntire.
I love it.
We have a border collie named Reba. Brett named her. He didn't grow up with Brett as my husband. He didn't grow up with dogs. And so I gave him all the first dog experiences. And we had another border collie named Jessie that I had named after Jessie Coulter. And so he tried to stick with the female artist thing.
I see your pictures froze up, but nope, there we go. Now we can see you. You're back. Okay, I mean, we saw you before and we could hear you fine, but it didn't look bad. Believe me, when you froze up, it did not look bad.
I didn't look like
nope. You didn't do one of those. It was all good. It was all good. Well. So, you are so fortunate to be in the shoes that you're in, and your husband being a writer and producer had a lot to do with the album that you put out. And there you go. You've already got an album that's out. Tell us about that a little bit.
So we made an EP, backtracking a little bit, moved to town, wanted to be Reba McEntire, but I was focusing on writing. I never got a pub deal or anything, didn't get a record deal. I made an EP that my husband produced, and that's what got me my record deal. And they said, just repeat what you just did, except have 11 songs. And so we have a lot of freedom we threw a lot of songs in the hat, let the best songs win. Brett is can you hear Reba barking, by the way?
I hear Reba. I was ready to tell my dog to be quiet, but no, it's all good. It's all good. Barely hear her. That's all good though. No worries. No worries.
So Brett, has one foot. He's a top 40 country songwriter. So he hadn't produced a ton of projects. It just kind of naturally happened from being a writer and making demos to pitch his songs that he knows how to do it. And he's a great player. And he just knew me better than anybody. We kind of made that EP not knowing what would happen. So we did that together and they liked what we did. So they said, produce this whole project. So it was like his first major label production. But we just let the best songs win, whether I wrote them or not. And, being married to somebody who tries to write those songs every day, he can be a stickler sometimes, but I'm just as much of a stickler.
I was going to ask, was there any conflict? Sorry, Skip.
Oh, of course.
No, go ahead.
Definitely. Brett really helped me find my voice. Because I can write all types of songs, but I feel like in the past decade or so, a lot of female artists, it seems like you have to, maybe ever since Gretchen, a lot of it's been the getting rowdy. You kind of got to do that to compete with the boys and stuff. And perfect example, Lainey Wilson, but she is what she is. She's singing about, she's doing the thing. She is a road runner. But that's not necessarily me. So it's he was you've got to sing songs and write songs that, you have been working as a speech therapist. Who are some of the female artists you love? I love Patti Loveless, Reba McEntire. And you go back and you think about songs like Blame It on Your Line, Cheating. It's you don't realize it's not a drinking song because it's still a honky tonk tempo. And we tried to focus more on those type of songs because that's kind of the life that I am living, So he really helped me find my voice, so to speak. And because I'd written, this is just a random example. I have this great song I wrote called Messy Hair and Second Day Makeup, but I haven't lived that life in a long time. You know what I mean? Someone else needs to sing that one. So I think a lot of times, maybe if I'd gotten a deal earlier, I would have cut those songs, and those are the records you see maybe about the third one, the artists have really come into their own. Well, I made those and I haven't been in the spotlight, so to speak. So this was just he really had a good influence on me.
Well, if people don't know, and I'm not taking the spotlight off of you, you're the star here, but your husband wrote Cold Beer Calling My Name.
He did.
So I'm just saying,
that's
a good example of how talented he is.
Oh, he's incredible. And I love talking about Brett. He'll go play a gig with me. We were just playing one show and we were supposed to play 4 songs. And we'd already played for the radio programmers, and this one later that night was for the sponsors. And I thought, these are a bunch of car dealership owners. They probably know Cold Beer Calling My Name. And at this point, I'm not playing for these people trying to get on the radio. I'm just trying to help them have a good time. So he'll look at me and be like, I'm not singing. And then sure enough, I'll be like, do y'all know Cold Beer Calling My Name? And they'll be like, oh. It's too late at that point. And I'm like, well, he wrote this. And he'll just be like, dadgummit. So I love talking about Brett. But he loves talking about me too.
Absolutely. And it should be that way. I like that.
We complement each other. We have our own strengths and weaknesses. But he got his first number 1 last year, Cold Beer Calling My Name. Yep. And that is very much Brett. Every now and then a cold beer is calling his name.
Me too.
I like to say that song fixed our foundation. And when I say that, I mean the concrete slab underneath our house. we don't have like a foundation that you give to. It helped put the foundation under our house.
Right. No, I get it. I get it. Absolutely.
And let's see. Right now, he has a top 5. Wild as Her, Corey Kent,
almost number 1.
Almost. Cross your fingers.
It's going there, Brett.
He's over there comping vocals, but he has on headphones, so he can't hear you.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. And I love it though. Yeah, absolutely. But you know what? Go ahead.
No, I was trying to think. And he wrote "Man Made a Bar."
Oh yeah. Yep.
That one's coming out, or maybe it'll go to radio. He's had "Hell Right," the Blake Shelton song, "Build Me a Daddy," Luke.
Yep.
I mean, he's killing it.
He is killing it, but so are you. Let's talk about you though. And you've got that album, and he produced the album. You're out on the radio tour. You're getting to meet a lot of us radio people, and like we said, everything happened. But now you're back up and running. I don't think you were ever down, but
you should have been in my house the past few weeks, just twiddling my thumbs. I was like, I need to go back to work at the school.
I was going to ask. So you went and got your master's, in speech pathology, correct? So you're a speech therapist.
Yes. I just come from a family where my mom didn't get her degree until she was 60, and my parents had divorced, and my mom and her friends, I just feel like I always saw a lot of women who maybe struggled to get to that next level of pay because they didn't have a degree maybe. And I just always wanted to guarantee that I could take care of myself if something ever happened and I was, alone and had kids.
Sure.
And our dad passed 1.5 years ago, but he was a mechanic.
Sorry.
So it's okay. So I just come from a family of really hard workers, and I don't know how to quit. So I got my bachelor's degree, and then I was like, how can I go a little bit further? And I have worked as a speech therapist the entire time I have been doing this music thing, whether I was part-time or it's kind of like being on call, but it's called PRN.
Okay.
And that was kind of always a difficult thing for me because people would sometimes say, like, you can't have a plan B in this business. Like, you don't want it as bad if you have a plan B. But I'm just the type of person, like, if I was struggling, then I surely couldn't be creative,
Sure.
And then after the pandemic, I think everyone's perspective on that changed because guess who worked the whole time during the pandemic? Me.
Kimberly Kelly did.
I cruised right on through that, giving virtual speech therapy lessons. So, so I'm just, no one can ever take that away from me either. I got.
Right.
It was just important to me. And
you're still doing it?
No. I left the school system a little less than 1 year ago. And oddly enough, we went to the Mexican restaurant and I ran into one of my kids and then another teacher that I worked with. So
cool.
It was really sweet. Before I left, a couple weeks before I left, I played a lot of my kids my song. And I played a trick on them. I was like, what do you think about this song? And they were so funny. Some of them were like, I don't like country music. And some of them loved it. And then I was like, well, what would you do if I told you this was me? And then it just blew their minds. And so then I was able to tell them, like, hey, Miss Kim's not going to be here next year, but it's because she's going to be singing songs. And so then the last week of school, some of the young ones, they were coloring, and I'd be like, okay, well, Miss Kim's not going to be here next year. Where's she going to be? And they'd just be like, singing. Like, they didn't care. But it's exactly what I wanted because I just didn't want to leave them because some of them I'd had for a few years.
I love that. I love that, though.
Couldn't care less at that point.
I have a son with special needs, and we, on occasion, have a speech therapist. So it's, I know what you go through. It's a lot of hard work, and I appreciate you doing that when you did it. Now I'm really appreciating your music. So this is quite the thing.
the idea was hopefully when the new person came in August, they were like, yeah, our last teacher was a singer. You know, I wanted it to be like that because I don't, you know, I'm a sucker, I guess.
They'll be coming to your shows though as soon as they get
Yeah.
organized.
Oh, some of them are just, you know, they had all kinds of questions for me at that point, but
they'll be like, I heard Miss Kim on the radio.
yeah,
I hear Miss Kim.
it's kind of neat, you know. But.
It's Miss Kim. I love it. I love it. Your Deb and I were talking about this earlier about your style of music. It's more 90s country. It's more that feel of you know, going back to Hank and all that. It's just that's where it needs to be. Yes, absolutely. And to hear that coming from a female even makes it better. It's just wow. And the song I was playing in the beginning there, and you mentioned, you know, the different lines or different titles of songs in that song. It's just like, wow, that's phenomenal. It's great.
Yeah. I feel like being from Texas, I'm very heavily influenced by the honky tonks and songs that you can dance to. And I feel like obviously I was also influenced by Texas radio. And if you go down there, they still play a lot of 80s and 90s country.
Yes.
Like they have like a lunch hour, and it's probably 90s now, but like when I was growing up, it was 70s or 80s. Like they just have a throwback. And they, I just remember the steel guitar and the fiddle and melodies and harmonies, not in like a bluegrass sense, just like 3-part harmony, you know, just it's very honky tonk-esque, but I feel like a lot of that music from the 90s, it was a sweet spot for that. So Brett as a producer found a way. We had real instruments in there, like a 7 or 8 piece band, and then I think what made it's throwback sounding but still sounds modern is in the way that it was mixed.
Yeah, it's the way it's mixed down. You did a great job with that. Absolutely. 100%. And that whole sound, I think Deb would agree as well, because here again, we've talked about this a little bit, is that whole sound is coming back. And I went to a show a couple of weeks ago at a venue close by. It was Carly Pierce. So we went to the show. Yeah, I know. And before the show, they were cranking 90s country. You could just, the whole auditorium, and just to look around to see, you know, everybody that was there for the show, dancing, singing the words, knew every word to every song that played. And the same thing after the concert as we were walking out. And I just went, you know, look at that. Look how popular 90s country is right now. I mean, it's full circle, baby. And this is going to be really, with your style, it can do nothing but help you even go to the next level.
And I love all kinds of country, but I do feel like there is room and a spot for that, you know? There's room for that. There's room for Sam Hunks. There's room for all of it. But have you heard of Jake Worthington?
I've heard of the name.
Oh, he's so good. Check him out. Like,
I will.
He's great. I mean, even Ernest kind of has some like country flair to it.
Yeah, he does.
And like, the new Darius Rucker song the other day I heard, Fires Don't Start Themselves.
Yes.
I was like, I could dance to that.
That's the whole idea. Look what Cole Swindell did with the Jody Messina tune.
Oh, yeah.
There's a good example, right?
Yeah.
That
yes,
it works.
Absolutely.
Just change a little bit here and a little bit there, and make it your own, and bam, got yourself a hit.
Yeah. So absolutely, and that's just a testament, I think, to a great song. Like, you know.
So, So tell us, what is it like right now? I know you're an hour behind us. Is this what happens in your house every night? You sit and your husband's over in the corner with the headphones on, because that's what happens in my house. I'm just saying, I'm down here in my studio, whether I'm doing a voiceover thing or cutting a commercial, or I'm talking to artists like you. My wife is upstairs watching, you know, it's like, this is our life. Is that what it's like with you?
No, not always. I definitely don't look like this every evening. Rick is usually sitting right there. And at this point, we're watching something on Netflix. Like, he's been rewatching 24.
Oh, yes. Oh, my gosh.
We've been watching Mrs. Maisel. The past couple days, he didn't have a right. So he was able to kind of sit down with some things that had been stacking up on him.
Yeah, get caught up.
And it just so happened that I think whether if I were doing this or not, he would be over there. I would tonight, because he's just getting caught up on some stuff.
I got you.
But he doesn't always do the demos. So, yeah, this is an off night.
That's cool. That's cool. You get a little downtime.
Yeah.
So you have you been like binge watching a lot of, I know it all has started with the pandemic, but binge watching certain shows. Was there a show that you really kind of fell into and had to watch it all, or maybe just kind of back to back to back?
We watched, the pandemic seems like so long ago.
I know.
I feel like we did a lot of projects during the pandemic. But most recently, in the past couple years since then, we watched Sons of Anarchy because we'd never seen it.
Oh my God, that is so good.
We watched
that one.
We watched The Sopranos because we had never seen that.
I watched it when it first came around. I watched the whole thing.
Yeah, I love it. And then he started watching 24 again because I'd never seen it. We love Ted Lasso.
Oh my God, it's so every Wednesday.
So good.
So good. So good.
And The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Yep.
I'm trying.
Did you watch Yellowstone?
We haven't watched this last season. We have watched. We watched everything up to this last season. Then we got off on 1883. Loved that. And 1924.
There you go. Yes.
So we've been, sometimes we love Yellowstone, but we kind of got really interested in 1883 and 1924 because it was a new story.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly.
There's a lot of the same things happening on Yellowstone, and so it was just like
right. I loved it when Lainey was on it.
Oh,
yeah, great to see her.
We did watch the first episode that she's
in season 5, right?
Yes,
right.
I remember we watched that one. She's done an amazing job. Yeah, so we've seen those episodes.
Yeah, do you watch like Grey's Anatomy or The Good Doctor or any of those?
No.
Oh my gosh, my wife is like glued to the television for those. It's like, okay, I'll see you later.
Speaking of Lainey, Brett wrote "Atta Girl" with her.
Oh wow, very cool.
So yeah, we love Lainey. He knows her better than
who doesn't?
Yeah, I know.
Who doesn't love Lainey?
I know.
Everybody does.
I know.
Absolutely.
So seeing that your husband's in the business and you're around all of these people, is there a way in the community that how do I want to phrase the question, that you can connect with other people for record deals and promotions and sponsorships and all that stuff? Or do you have to go out and do all this on your own?
I don't feel like I didn't get my deals from him, but I have met, it's kind of interesting, like his world is more in the publishing world. And so I've met a lot of publishers. I know other writers really well that maybe I haven't even written with before. I know I'll meet an artist and I'll be like, oh, my husband's Brett. And they'll be like, oh my God, we love Brett. And then they automatically feel like Ashley Cook, when we were at the CMT's Next Women thing, I was like, Brett wrote, it's been a year. She's like, oh my God, I love Brett. So like they kind of feel comfortable around me already.
Yeah. That's kind of cool though.
Oh, it's great. But then as far as like labels and stuff, he's even like not as close to those type of people as you would think he'd be. And he's learned a lot about the other side of the business, like where his songs go after he writes them, just from me, like going on radio tour with me. It's kind of interesting. I feel like radio promoters and songwriters have very similar jobs because they have to sometimes, like, they may keep their job for years and artists come and go. Same thing with a writer. He's going to be writing songs and artists may work or not work. And he may be in a room sometime with somebody that he's just like, this is really difficult. The same way that a radio rep would be like, this artist is really hard to work with. You know what I mean? So our eyes have just been opened so much the further I get into it. And then it's been really fun when he's gone on radio tour visits with me because he's gotten to meet a lot of the programmers and we've gotten to say thank you for helping Come Here Call My Name go #1. And they love it because they're meeting a writer. It's everything's so close together, but still so far spread out.
100%. Absolutely.
It is two different world spectrums, ends of the spectrum in the music business. I guess I didn't really see it that way. I just always think that everybody's just one big group family and kind of
what's even
together.
Funnier is being with one of my radio reps. He used to work at Warner, and we'd be like, do you know so and so? And he'd be like, I don't know that person. And it's like, he didn't know an A&R rep. Or no, he didn't know. He knew A&R reps. He didn't know a publisher. And it was like, how did you not know the publisher that you worked at? And it's like, well, because they're in like a separate part. Like,
I mean, nobody sees. It doesn't come together till after. Then you got your writer, you got your publisher, you've got your producer. It's just So a lot of people don't realize that.
Oh, it's wild. I mean, I've learned all that too. We'd be like, Blake Nixon, he was great. We'd be like, how did you not know BJ who runs the Warner Chapel Publishing? He'd be like, I don't know. I was just doing my job.
I love it. So do you and your husband ever get a chance to walk away from what you're doing, to kind of just take a break? And if you do, what do you enjoy doing?
Well, I had Reba in agility training. Love that. I've had to stop it because I've been gone a lot.
She didn't graduate?
Oh, she graduated like a couple levels. We're in a different level now where it's like a small group and you go back and what else? We'll go out of town sometimes, like I want to see the 50 states before I die, because I realized going on the road with my sister that a lot of times you'll just see a parking lot. And so we just like to, whenever we can, I mean, we're super busy, but we just like to go travel, and we like history, and we'll get down to Texas, or a few weeks ago we went to Cummins Falls and took Reba. We'll just
very nice.
Get together with our friends, or do something with the dog, or binge watch 24.
Well, you're very down to earth. Sounds very normal.
Very down to earth. Very down to earth.
Thank you.
I loved it. Were you at the country radio seminar by chance?
Yes, I was.
We were there.
Yeah, I was. I wasn't in the room maybe where you give a bunch of liners, but
no, neither were we. But still, we were there.
I was at bar lines, the bar a lot. That sounds like I was just having a good time, but no,
she might have seen us, Deb.
The way I said that, it was like I was at the bar, I did that. I went to the one seminar where they gave out the award for the Hall of Fame, Radio Hall of Fame.
Yes. Yep.
I can't remember.
Yeah, we were probably in a lot of the same places at the same time and really didn't realize it. But the reason I was asking was, as an artist, do you feel that's very valuable to maybe take in one of those sessions or see what's going on? How important is that for you as an artist?
One thing distinctly that I remember from that is I wasn't in this seminar, but I'd gone to the bathroom and I looked in, and up on the screen there was a chart, and it said that the age range of people that listen to music, and it also said like how much music is still discovered on the radio, how much is discovered on TikTok, and like radio was still
number one.
I don't know who made the chart, but like I'm gonna go by that chart, okay? Because I haven't had some viral TikTok moment yet, but I was like, that's my ticket. That's it. It's still my ticket.
Yeah, and that's why I'm asking, because some of that could be very valuable to see. They compile all this research, and Deb and I look at it, and it's like, holy crap, check this out. This is going in this direction, or that's going in that direction. I mean, it's all legit research, no doubt about it. And the good thing that I saw, we all know times are changing. It's digital. What's radio going to be in 10 years? Who knows? AM radio, they're taking it out of cars, so that probably won't even be available anymore. Oh yeah.
What's gonna happen?
Well, do you have a CD player in your car?
No, but how will I?
Okay.
WSU?
Do you still have a cassette player in your car?
No.
I do.
Do you have an 8-track player?
The only AM station I listen to is the Opry, though. But what are they?
No. But Circle TV has the Opry.
Oh no! But I want to listen to it in my car. I want to listen to it.
Well, okay, it hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
But that's looking down the road. But you see the future of radio, and the good thing right now is to know that most people are getting their music, learning the new music, finding out what's out there from FM radio the most. And we also have satellite, and there's other avenues. Of course, we all know that you got your Pandora and your Spotify and, all those different avenues and different platforms, digital service providers and it's very important for you as an artist to be on all those as well. So
I still just feel like I think about my stepdad a lot. I'm like, Robert doesn't have Spotify. He is doing work outside, and he's got Waco 100 on at like just the right volume. And, I just think about people like that. Like, I still think that there's just so many people, and I listen to the radio every time I'm in the car. My car doesn't have XM, not because I don't like it. I just,
I get it.
Come with it. I have the app on my phone, but, there's just something about it. And then there was another seminar where, it was the relationship between, I can't remember, but they were asking the woman from Warner if it was moving towards artists, like long careers, or like individual hits. And she was like, dear Lord, I please hope long careers. And
exactly.
I was like, oh, that's awesome, because she's got like Bailey Zimmerman, who's one of the most streamed acts. So it's like, even she is still like, please, we need to build careers, not just have hits. Every
exactly right. Exactly right.
That was beneficial for someone like me to hear, because I haven't gone viral on TikTok. You know what I mean?
and are you using the platform at all?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, platform. You got your Instagram.
Yes. I have all the things. You betcha.
And you're doing it.
Yeah, I am.
Good for you.
So,
because I feel you have to do that.
Oh yeah, it's fun.
And you mentioned Bailey Zimmerman. If you're not on that train, that train's left the station. If you know what I mean, it's just.
I like him.
It's crazy.
He's so funny. Like, I know people were giving him heck for a little bit, but I was like, I kind of like that kid.
No, yeah, and he came on quick, went right to the top.
Yeah,
people are, listeners are loving him. He's on his 3rd single to country radio. He's got Religiously out there now, the title track off the album. We just started playing that a couple of weeks ago. It's already flying up the chart.
Love it.
You know, you got Luke Combs that's got how many songs out? You got Morgan Wallen who's like taking over the top 10 on the chart. And that's a programmer's nightmare right there. I'm just saying, as somebody that has to program a station, and you have to schedule the music. So
I'm sure. I'll say this: that "Rock in a Hard Place" song, that's a country song. Like it is. If you really listen to it, I mean, it's a waltz. It's so well written. I love that song. And I'm just saying, like, I lean more to the traditional sounding stuff as an artist myself, but I was like, I want to cover that. Song. That song's great. Like,
I get it. Did you, by chance, see Jelly Roll at CRS?
I did not see him, but I'm a fan of him. He's great. I love what he's doing. He's a man of the people.
That's exactly, and that's why I was asking. He's got a great story.
Yep. From Antioch. I worked at a school in Antioch.
I love it. I love it. Now, you being from Texas and Texas country.
Yes.
Which is more traditional country. I know Texas has its own chart and all that, but now you packed up and went to Nashville. What's the big difference for you?
For me, or in my opinion?
Well, either way.
I think the exposure.
Okay.
I think a lot of the people who, now there's random instances, but I think a lot of the major players beyond just regional notoriety, you can get to a broader audience when you're coming out of Nashville. Just it's the team
I believe
here, you know, but I feel like that's also changing because of streaming and TikTok and everything. I don't honestly think it matters anymore. I think the difference between Texas and Nashville is kind of starting to
merge.
Yeah.
But don't you have to be more so in the Nashville area to become more involved in the community of the songwriting and the publishing? Is it beneficial in that respect?
You've got to spend some time here. Somebody told me that a long time ago before I moved. They said you must be present to win.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, you can go back. Once you're here and you establish those relationships, nobody knows where you're at. You could be out of town one weekend.
Right.
You're gone all the time, but like you got to come up and spend some time and get in front of those people's faces, at least to get going.
True. Very true. It's crazy. So what was the name of your hometown again?
Lorena. Lorena.
Lorena.
If you want to go Lor.
How big, what's the population of Lorena? Do you know?
Let me Google it. I feel like
well, you don't have to go that far.
It's
a small town.
It's like I just want to because I haven't looked at it in a while.
Okay. So while you're Googling it, let me ask you this. I've asked other artists this, and I think Deb knows what I'm going to ask. Is if I was driving into Lorena, all right, I'm on the main drag heading into town. What's the first thing I'm going to see?
Papa Joe's. Depends on what direction you're coming from.
Well, I don't see. The main drag. There must be some certain main road.
The main drag is I-35.
All right. Yeah. So they really had taken off ramp, right?
So if you take an off ramp, you're going to see a Brookshire's.
Ooh. Okay.
A grocery store. And if you're coming from Austin going north, you're going to see a gas station. It used to be a Phillips 66. I don't know what it is anymore.
There's a name from the past.
Yeah.
They're Phillips 66. There used to be the middle school that looked like the Alamo, but they tore that down. I went to that middle school. If you're going down the little strip, like in actual downtown Lorena, there's like a lamp store. And
I'm getting the whole description of the town.
There's 1000, 791 people.
Well, that explains it. I love it though.
Yeah.
Small town. That is so awesome. So awesome. You must have a memory. What's your favorite memory of Lorena, of growing up?
Probably the Christmas in the Country pageant. I mean, parade and pageant, and like around Christmas, there would be a parade, and you'd go to that little area, and everybody knew everybody.
I love that. See, it's that small town feel.
Yeah.
You have the parade and everybody knows everybody. And it's just, how are you? And everybody is, I love that. I love that. Now you've moved to Nashville and your friends from your hometown must be so proud of you. And you know what I'm saying?
If I tried to, I didn't know what was happening in these last few weeks. And I was like, well, is now the time that I quit for the 5th time? If I might.
You're not going to quit. Never.
Oh, I know. But everybody is just, I think they just live vicariously through me. They just, they're so proud. And
absolutely.
They just, of my sister too, and they just have so much fun because I feel like a kid sometimes and get so excited about stuff. And I think people just love to see that.
I love it. Absolutely love it. This has been great. Can you mentioned your sister. Can you say who?
Kristen Kelly.
Kristen Kelly.
Yeah. I don't know why I didn't say that earlier.
Okay. Now I know.
Do you know her?
I've heard the name. Yes. Yeah. Honest to God. Honest to God, I have. I've been doing this a long time.
What's most fun? The most fun is on this radio tour. The people that did know her, because again, it was that familiarity. They'd be like, "I know your sister." When I went in to see Donato, do you know Donato?
Yes. Yes.
He had a split screen of when me and my sister, when she was on her radio tour, and then the picture of just me coming in to visit, and I was like, "Oh my God."
Scott is awesome.
Yeah, but she had a song called "I Got an Ex-Old Man and an Ex-Best Girlfriend," and then "He Loves to Make Me Cry." So no, absolutely, I usually say her.
I love it. You know what? We're almost out of time here. I don't want to keep you too much longer. But your music, do you have a website? I know you have a website.
Yes, KimberlyKellymusic.com. KimberlyKelly.
Okay. And your music's available on all the digital service providers.
If you go to my website, KimberlyKellymusic.com, you'll get the links to all of the things. The TikTok, and Twitters,
all of it. And when are you going to be on the Opry next? You've already been on that stage a couple of times.
No, I've been calling them.
Well, you need to be back there.
Working on it. It's so funny because I don't live too far from there. When I made my debut, I was like, I know sometimes when the weather gets bad, it's hard for people to get over here, but I'll cross country ski over here if you need me to.
What an opportunity. And real quick before we let you go, what's it like to stand on that stage?
Nothing like it. You just sit there and when you really think about it and you think about the history that's come before it, it kind of messes you up a little bit in the best way.
I bet.
You're going constantly all the time and you're like, have I made it? Am I gonna make it? And then you just think, oh my God, I've played the Opry. Like that's incredible, and it is incredible. Yes. And what family can say that both of their daughters played the Opry?
Well, exactly. So you've been on the carpets.
Yep.
I didn't say a color that time, but you've been on the carpets.
Yes.
You've been on the Opry stage.
I've had a record come out.
You've had an album out. You've had a record out. You've started out on a radio tour, soon to pick up where you left off. Do you realize, I'm sure you do. What's that, Deb?
And one more thing we really didn't touch base on, but you mentioned you're one of CMT's next women of country. And I was going to ask you to elaborate on that a little bit. How did you get to that?
They have that program and they just keep their eyes out, I think. and they look for the women in this industry that are kind of getting things done. And it was just, they felt like I was ready for it, I guess. Probably just because, I'd been eyeing it for a while. I think a lot of us want to be a part of it. And I think having music out there now and really coming into my own, I think I represent something to them, like a niche that needs to be,
recognized.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
In this genre to fill a space maybe. Yeah. And so I made the cut.
Well, with this will come a whole lot more exposure.
Yes.
Well, right?
They've been great. They have shows throughout the year. Yeah. I mean, but then they also work with you to find out like what charities you want to be involved in too. So it's not all just about us. It's about finding your
giving back. Yeah, that's right.
Is there a song, pardon me if I for some reason, either I'm having a brain fart or something, but is there a song that's out to radio now from you or no?
No,
Okay.
It will just be.
Scared me. All right.
No, you do this a lot. Summers like that will be the one. So
okay,
like that's what I'm saying. I was on deck, hadn't made it up to bat yet.
Yep. Okay,
we're gonna go to bat with it.
Gotcha. And it's going to be a home run. I feel it.
I hope so.
Yeah, Kimberly Kelly, it's been great chatting with you tonight. And
Thank you so much for having me.
And hopefully, people that watch this, either they're watching it live tonight or they watch it down the road, that, the musical background that you have and the places that you've already been and the future is wide open at this point. I mean, you're definitely going to do real well. No doubt about it. It's just everything about you is a hit all the way around. Your personality, the music, the album is phenomenal. I love the sound of it. And you got your husband producing it. I mean, what more can you ask for? I mean, that's awesome. Thank you for joining us here tonight on our Skip Happens podcast. And of course, don't forget to subscribe at Skip Happens on YouTube. And Deb's got a little bit of info as well.
Yes, the official country music fan club on Facebook. So we'll be following you now, Kimberly. So when your music comes out, we'll promote it and get it up there so our member base can get exposed to new music. So if you get a chance, follow us back and we'll just start tagging you and tracking you down all over the country. So
seriously, that's amazing what they do on Fridays. Yeah, it's amazing.
We'll put the new music out, let everybody know what's happening.
Thank you so much.
Cool. You're so awesome. Stay there. We're going to say goodbye. Thank you for joining us here tonight, everybody.